What's up, folks? HHRS Radio Show, man. We are absolutely live.
Here we are.
Yeah, man. Check this out, man.
Yes, we are.
What about this? Ho. Y'all know that. Y'all know that one. You gotta go way back. You gotta go way back, man. That's when Fred Flintstone was a superhero, man.
No, that was not Fred Flintstone.
Yes, he was like ho.
Like Yabba Dabba Doo.
I mean, yeah, that was his normal thing. But when he was a superhero, when he was like,
when Wilma flashed him on Mardi Gras, he was like Yabba Dabba Doo.
It's Fat Tuesday, y'all. The heavy hitters are back in the house, man. Hey,
It's Booby Tuesday.
That's that voice you hear, man. That's the one and only the star of the show, man. El Jeezy M'Baku.
Man, Wakanda forever. We in the building, yo.
We here,
I
man.
need some beads.
We're here, and it's fancy too.
What?
Need some beads. Need some
Beans.
I need some beads around here.
I had to show my tatas to get these. That's how you get beads.
Tatas to get them beads.
That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah, I have none.
You have, I don't even want to go there, Ron.
Hey, that female voice. Look. If we move on, that female voice you hear.
Well, you have. Never mind.
That female voice you hear, man. That's the lady of the house. Folks, give it up for the Run. MC.
Guys, happy Tuesday. So good to be together. Did we do a show? We did a show last week. Feels like it's been a long time. Lots of things have happened.
Man, hey, I tell you what, folks, man. We do this show, and you guys know we're in Indianapolis, and right now it's like Snowpocalypse 2021. Although we only got about 9 or 10 inches, but still, man, it's crazy. States locked down.
I mean, I like 10 inches in other ways. My car got stuck in the snow for the very first time ever today. It was not fun.
That's how it happens sometimes, man. Hey, Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man.
I don't like it.
Apocalypse.
Snowpocalypse. Hey, we got a big show for y'all today, man. We're going to be talking about the second impeachment of former President Donald Trump. We are going to be discussing a great movie that's out right now. That's my opinion, great movie. Judas and the Messiah. It's on. I saw it on HBO Max. Man, I tell you what, the NCAA Final Four and the Big Ten championships are all coming to Indianapolis. It's like, I don't know, 200 games or something, because men and women both for Big Ten, and then I think the men's tournament. So it's going to be absolutely bonkers here in the city where we are right now. Hey man, shout out to Big Gates. I don't think I shouted him out last week. I can't remember, but what's that?
You did. You showed Gates mad love. We show Gates love every week.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure I did, man. I want to make sure I did. I went back and I read some of the text messages he was asking about some questions and whatnot. He's definitely a neighbor of the Heavy Hitters Radio Show. And then shout out to BK down in Southern Indiana, man. She was all on the show. Hit me up and was like, you know what? Thanks for giving me a shout out. So I appreciate she listens, man. She's a brand new neighbor, man. A loyal neighbor. Shout out to BK, man. The big Kahuna down there in Southern Indiana, Angie. All right, guys. So you guys ready to jump into this thing?
Yes.
All right, and then hey, by the way, D-Lo will be a little bit late, but he'll be here though for shizzle. All right. So just real quick, man. Some random stuff that I've noticed here in the past few days, man. I learned a new word. What is it? Nihilism.
What does it mean?
Nihilism. And if I probably should.
It's all you saying annihilators.
Not.
I need some dilators.
Because for sure, growing up, that's exactly how it went down. I mean, I'm about to go give me some grape now.
I did not know it was pronounced now and later.
Not until I was an adult, I think.
Right.
Listen, I didn't know you guys were even talking about now and laters until you said that. I would have never gotten there.
That's funny.
Would not have gotten there.
Look,
have you described it? Maybe.
This word's so hard to spell, I got to say it into my little thing here.
Do we need to call layman?
All right, you guys ready?
I haven't talked to him in a really long time.
Who's that, Layman?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
Layman's in quarantine.
Layman's in quarantine. He came down with Rona.
I hope not.
I hope not too. I
Yeah,
know it
Rona.
seems, but we haven't heard from him.
That's true. I don't know. Maybe we'll give him a call. Hey, hold on one second. Let me see if I can get him on the line here, all right?
All right,
I guess
cool.
it's kind of silly, you know what? But we are taping this. So, like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of takes
No,
away
that's
from
true.
I definitely want to see how Lemon. I definitely want to see how Lemon. Oh, yeah, I'm on the phone. I thought you were going to call him on a Zoom call. That would be weird.
Oh, I don't know that Layman has access to Zoom currently.
No, he don't. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
The new word I learned this week is nihilism, the rejection of all religious and moral principles in the belief that life is meaningless.
Wow.
Nihilism.
That's intense and dark.
Now, here's where I learned that word. I was watching the news, and guys, I watch all the news. I watch all different channels, and one of the channels I was watching, I believe it's on CNN, they were saying that Mike Pence, former Vice President Mike Pence, was either complicit. There was one other one. He was complicit. He was kind of dodging the issues, or he was not. He was a nihilistic. He took a nihilistic approach to everything that's happened because he hasn't come out and said anything. Do you think he was so demoralized by everything that happened? He's just like, man, nothing's right in this world anymore. Do you gather that from what happened?
So Mike Pence lost religion?
Well, not lost it necessarily. Just think that the world is so crazy. It's like he just kind of gave up for a while. And I think that's what it sounds like. What nihilism sounds like. Just kind of think that all hope is lost necessarily.
Oh, so basically saying is, he's found it again. So you're saying that he's recently refound his faith?
If he's nihilistic, he has not. He just thinks that his faith didn't work for him, his beliefs didn't work for him, his actions didn't work for him, and like, why bother? I'm not gonna. He's not at the point where he can hurt himself. But he's like, why bother doing anything else? Why come out and say anything? Because nothing matters.
He's not nihilistic.
So what I gather from this is, you basically was Trump's do boy for 4 years. You basically went against everything that your religious beliefs, because you basically signed on with this guy, and then all of a sudden that it's over with, and you want to go back to your religion at some point because you thought that praying to God was going to help you with Trump, or you thought that your religious beliefs would rub off on Trump, and it did not.
That's a good thought.
I could see that, but I mean, we all know good and well that he's still not going to let gay people get a wedding cake. So I'm going to go with he's just complacent.
No, he's looking for a way to get back into God's good graces after being here 4 years with Trump.
That's funny. That's like that one commercial where it's like, are you 2020? Are you 2020?
20?
Right.
You call me 2020.
Just call me 2020. That commercial is amazing. All right, so yeah, I mean, and I don't know, man. I know from what I understand, like he left DC on the day, flew back to Columbus, Indiana, where he's from. But last I heard, he's going to back to Virginia. He's going to live in Virginia. And he's going to start a podcast, man. Maybe he'll be on Tuesday night with us. Will we have Mike Pence on our podcast?
For sure.
I would love to have Mike Pence on our podcast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a We Love Pence t-shirt for Mike Pence, yo.
I'm gonna have
Bill Clinton got a podcast.
I'm gonna have all my gay friends coming eating cake while he's on our show.
Can we get Stupid Hogset on here at that same time? I got a lot to say to both of them, actually.
Dang, that was strong.
Let's make that happen.
Real quick, I'm going to take a moose turn real quick, and then we'll be back to Mike Pence. To all my fellow celebrities, well, y'all not my fellows, how about y'all get on the regular radio and lead a podcast to the normal people, man?
Terrestrial radio?
Right? Like, Mike Pence can go to any terrestrial radio station and get a talk show. Why y'all come in my space? Why you gotta infringe on like what we do? Go to Fox Radio and like get your own like show. You ain't gotta come to the podcast world, man. I'm tired of all these celebrities coming in to our arena, man. This is our space. This is where you have the Heavy Hitters radio show. You got, Brews and Reviews. You got Conversation with Coach. You know what I'm saying? You got get out of our lane, man. No bad.
That's okay.
Easy on that one.
That's okay, man. Hey, tell me why you mad, son. I get it.
Stay out of our lane, man.
I get it, man. We've been saying that for years. And unfortunately, man, between we look in the, I don't know. It's funny. Anybody that's close to me and they go, I was listening to this podcast and it was about murder. I was listening to this podcast and it was about, this story I saw on Dateline. I'm like, are you cheating on us? They cheating on us.
But first of all, Moose, I hate when people say, man, do you listen to this podcast? I'm like, do you listen to Heavy Hitters radio show? Like, you talking to a guy that got a show. You're talking to me, I got a show. You listen to my show?
Right.
You want to recommend some other show when I do a show?
Right. That's exactly what I say every time.
Yeah. Tell me why you're mad, son. Support the Heavy Hitters, man.
That's
we
right.
got podcasts. Matter of fact, and none of us live in our mom's basement.
Not
one of us.
Not one of us. All. They're somewhere in their mom's basement. That was a joke, but not all y'all got a podcast now.
Right. And man, you listen to Heavy Hitters radio show and we all mad, son.
Radio show.
Man.
We damn near a decade strong in this piece.
Close to it, boy. I'll tell you what. Close to it, man.
We don't know the anniversary date.
You guys were podcasters before it was cool.
Before it was cool. Especially me. I was podcasting back in 2004.
Yes.
That's way before it was. People didn't even know what podcasts were.
We didn't know what it was, man.
Listen, if you on my iPod Shuffle, it didn't exist.
It was an iPod. You just know what it was.
It probably was. I just didn't know. I was way too busy listening to NSYNC and Britney Spears.
Oh my gosh!
This is the iPod Shuffle.
Hey, you know what's funny? Yeah. You know what's funny about that, man? Like if you think about it, the it's evolved. Like so now the Heavy Hitters, which I don't know if people know or not, Jeezy, but man, you can catch us on Spotify, you can catch us on Spreaker Live, you can catch us on iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio. I mean, we legit just like everybody else, man. You can catch us on
everybody else when we there.
Stitcher Radio and of course Apple Podcast. So man, we're on all the major runs as well, man. Check us out. All right, so yeah, I mean, at some point he'll come out and maybe he'll explain how he felt about everything, man. But I just know that it's messed up. Like I've never seen anything. I've never seen this type of interaction with the president and the vice president, in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Are you there, G?
Crazy, bro.
Hey, put your phone down.
I don't understand Prince, man.
Say what?
I don't. I'm sending a link to people to listen to support our podcast, man.
Hey, you know what? We all appreciate that, man. Hey, so all right, Heavy Hitters. All right, so enough with them. Let me tell you something else that's going on, man, here lately. So it's snow all over the country, right? All over the country.
Over. Dallas was -7.
I was going to say, but man, Texas is taking it on the chin, man, and not in a good way, man.
Not in a good way.
I mean,
they don't know what they're doing this -7.
Rolling blackouts because the grid can't take all the power surge, where people don't have power, don't have heat. Not for like 20, 30 minutes or hour, like several hours, their grid is out while someone else got it. And their houses are getting down below 40 degrees. Now, if you know anybody that lives in a southern state, 40 degrees is freezing.
It's death.
Right. They have no idea how to handle it.
Yeah, they ain't ready for that 40.
They don't have coats for that.
If it was 40 today, there'd be somebody in the hoodie and some shorts outside shoveling.
Meanwhile,
for sure.
Meanwhile, in Texas, they're putting on their winter coats at 65.
Yeah, because when people don't understand how
we're still wearing shorts.
The reason why 40 degrees is warm to us because it was 10 degrees yesterday. So that's a 30-degree change in weather.
Right.
So 30 degrees feel a lot warmer at 40.
I mean,
at 50, he went to the pool.
That's right.
I dare say, when it's even sunny, it was sunny today. Your whole attitude is different. You walk outside like you walk out just in shorts and a t-shirt, like, oh yeah, I can see some sun.
Right, sun's out, guns out.
Hey man, so yeah, man. Hey man, shout out to all the people in Texas, man, that are struggling with this crazy weather that's sweeping across the country. And then there was a daggone tornado. Was it in Alabama? There was like a tornado that tore up several towns, man. And that's
I did hear about that.
That's very rare. It's very rare that happens. So is it global warming, guys? I mean, run.
No, they changed the term. It's called climate change now.
Right.
Okay.
They got rid of global warming. Yeah.
Correct.
All right.
And I think it was a lot to do with the fact that we would say it was global warming, and people are like, "Well, then why is it cooler?"
Yeah. Why is it cold outside? I got sun in my yard.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So my bad. Is it climate change, guys, that's causing these freak storms where you get snow in Texas and then you get a tornado in February?
I mean, it's either climate change or the Book of Revelation.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Boy,
I'm just saying. What are the other options?
Explain, Ron.
Oh, okay. So, in the Bible, in the Book of Revelation, it is the end. So, it foreshadows the end, essentially, of the world. That is how it has been translated and passed along. So, basically, what happens is lots of things happen, but one of those things is that you cannot tell the season that you're in, and so like everything starts to change within the world, and it's like the second coming of the Lord.
Oh, okay.
And if you ask conspiracy theory people, Trump is the Antichrist, but then the other people said that Obama was the Antichrist. So it's a whole thing.
I want to say every president has been the Antichrist.
Every president
since Bush. All right, hey folks, man, just joining the show, man. The one, the only, man, the legend, the smooth voice of the Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. DJ Long Green 400.
Long Green, I see he got the green screen up in the background. What's up, family?
Man, welcome, man. Happy Fat Tuesday, bro.
Happy Fat Tuesday. I heard it's different this year.
Man,
it is. It's Yardy Girl, not Mardi Gras.
Damn. Are we taking shots or anything tonight in honor of? All the girls send you to their OnlyFans page.
I'm ready. It costs extra, huh? It costs extra.
COB to their OnlyFans. Damn.
Hey, man, I will say this. Matter of fact, we can go ahead and jump right into that real quick. We talked about the weather, but we can jump right into that. So with this pandemic that we're I used to say we're in the middle of it, but we might be on the back half. Hopefully, hopefully on the back half of it, man. So Mardi Gras, which is the way I explained it earlier to a friend of mine, is that if you take the best party that you've ever been to, and then you multiply it by 15 million, and then plus give it some steroids and human growth hormone (HGH), then you might get close to what Mardi Gras partying is like. It is otherworldly. Ron or Jeezy, have you guys ever been to Mardi Gras, like the actual Mardi Gras?
I have not.
Yes, I have been to Mardi Gras. I might post some pictures on the Heavy Hitters Instagram. It was amazing.
So
it's amazing, dog. I recommend everybody go at least once. So
at least one time, and that might be all you need. Like if you go more than once, you might have a little issue with yourself.
You might have a problem. It's beyond anything you can expect. Like the Girl Gone Wild videos that you used to see growing up is that on steroids. Like there's literally women naked in the streets, which I don't understand. Like And then there's kids out there too, which I didn't understand. Like parents bring their kids,
right?
You know, but beads are really actual currency, man.
Beads are currency.
Currency.
So these big ones right here. These big ones right here.
Right there would get you all kind of stuff.
Oh man, I tell you what. When I was there, they were saying Tatas or George Bush. So these right here get you George Bush. If you understand what that means.
Yes.
You going south of the border with these beads. And I'm talking about the women, man, would unzip their pants and let you just touch it right there in the street. But I'm telling you, word to the wise, use your left hand just in case, man. Just in case. Because if you're right-handed, use your left hand, dog, because you don't want to taint that hand you eat with, man.
But you know what's funny, man? I think about, like, when will it ever get back to normal where Mardi Gras will be a thing again? Because, I mean, you talk about shoulder to shoulder. I mean, you shoulder to shoulder for, like, up and down Bourbon.
Miles and miles and miles.
It's so many people, man.
Yeah.
Like, I watch shows now, old shows with that crowd. I'm like, ooh, that's so COVID-y.
What'd you say? You just coined the phrase, COVID-y.
COVID-y, you know, like, man, some old football games, you're like, ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in hindsight, everything is a super spreader.
It's a super spreader.
Everything we did, man.
The super spreader was like only on Pornhub. Go to Pornhub and put in super spreader.
I'm not doing. I don't want to mess up my browser like that.
Right, your cookies.
Right. Speaking of that, and I want to get back. I want to stay on Mardi Gras, but have you guys noticed that you always get a cookie thing now, like more than you used to? Like on you go every Sunday.
No, you ain't up on it. You ain't up on it. Okay, so what happened is a lot of companies are mad at Apple now because you have an iPhone. So iPhone is all about your security. So now every time you go to a website, Apple asks you, hey, so you know, like, do you want to get your cookies up or not? So you have an option to click no. Or you have like even when you do Instagram with your pictures, remember before you push the button, all your pictures show up, and now it's like if you can add them one at a time. Like iPhone is like really geared in on like protecting your privacy from Facebook, from all these different sites. So now that's why you get those pop-ups all the time on your phone. And they saying the new iOS is supposed to be even worse as far as like for social media. I mean, like none of your data is supposed to go to any of these sites. Like Google had to change how they do things based off the parameters that iPhone has put out there. And so Facebook is mad. Like Facebook is talking about like getting dropped from the App Store. It's that bad as far as like that's how they make their money.
Right.
It's through your advertising, so your information. So if Apple's restricting that, they can't make no money.
Oh wow!
So now Apple is talking about doing their own social network for Apple users.
That'd be silly. That'd be real silly.
They got enough market share.
Yo, is that kind of where the whole Clubhouse thing falls into the picture? Apple tried to move to its own exclusive social networks for people.
Yeah, well, I mean for their users. But basically, we're at a point now where everyone's hyped on their security with their phones. I mean, your information is being sold. I mean, we know how we talk. Next thing you know, you got ads in your phone, you know, or all these apps asking for permission to look at your content list, your cameras, and all that kind of stuff. So Apple is basically putting a kibosh on that stuff because they got enough of the market share to where they can do that. And not to mention their customer base will follow Apple anywhere they go. I mean, hell, they charge, you know, $5,000 for some damn wheels, some computer wheels, $1,000, and people bought them. So we'll see.
Man, you guys listen to Heavy Radio Show. I tell you what, man, we bring the real every single week. All right, so we got the gangs all here. Let's go back to Mardi Gras real quick. I remember when I was there at one point somebody was dancing on my leg. And my homeboy that was there said, "Hey man, I think that's a dude." I couldn't tell.
Oh my God.
I couldn't tell. He was a little fella, you know. Moose when he was young and standing straight, he's about 6'2". And this little fella probably about 5'3", 5'4".
So you're acknowledging he was a little fella.
Well, I say little fella now because I think it was, you know, I think it was done.
So he got you. So the heavy hitters went gay.
Well, I wasn't gay. I don't think I was gay. I mean, I was.
Did you get excited?
I did not. I didn't get excited, and I didn't beat him up. Like I just kind of was there. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Mardi Gras, I guess. You know, it's a story to tell. I got a story to tell.
That is true.
But it's one of those things where I think that, you know, like I'm not sure if we'll ever have that party again, Jesus. As you talk about the word COVID-y. Like, will you ever feel comfortable, like, it's being in that kind of environment again?
No.
You know what? I think I'm more open to it because I feel a little more comfortable, you know, wearing a mask in large crowds. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I could close off the idea that I wouldn't go to it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if the mask gives me some sort of false sense of security. But, you know, knock on wood, it's worked for me at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, hell, I'd be down.
Are you a double masker?
You gotta go in a crowd of 10,000 people.
Am I a double masker?
Yes.
Yeah, I recently became a double masker, man. Like some places I've been playing have the crowd's either a little too close or there's too many people, so it's like, you know what, Dr. Fauci recommended double mask. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if a double mask means I get to be in the game and have a good time, I'm not opposed to it.
Man, how do you breathe in a double mask, though, man?
Bro, I figure it out, man. I duck off, man, or where people, hey, man, catch my breath, put them back, and keep rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Because Jeezy, I had to go out and buy a gator. I broke down about a gator, man, and that thing is like...
They're not good for you. Gators are not good for you, Jeezy.
You know what? It's a face covering, yo.
I don't know what gators are.
Little thing you pull up over your nose.
It's like a scarf almost.
It's a scarf to go around like that. Okay. It's no different than any other like mask.
It is. It's very different.
It is different.
Are you kidding me?
Because it's like soft, clothy, breathable material, right?
Correct.
So now are y'all being maskless towards me right now? Is that what y'all being? Y'all being y'all some maskless, yo. So because I have the blue medical bag, now all of a sudden, hey, you ain't protected. But all the masks you buy secondhand is no different than your shirt. I might want to do this.
The only reason,
you know, it's easy with all the maskisms.
Right.
Same conversation every week.
You need to quit. You need to quit being masochistic, man. Here's the thing. You have to understand. You have to understand. You have to understand that. All we want to do is protect you, man. We want to protect you.
The gator is the moose. What did you say 8 months ago? It reduces the viral load.
It does.
That's what it does.
It does.
So my gator don't reduce my viral load.
Yeah, you know what? Yes, your gator does.
Boom.
So, all right, Jeezy.
You said it, Moose.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You're a basketball player.
Yes, sir.
You played in college.
Yes, sir. I like that, man. Keep building me up.
Yes.
And I played pro too. We just didn't play.
Okay.
The team folded before we had a game.
Okay.
But I made the team though.
So you made
pro.
You made a semi-pro team.
Why I be semi? No. Ain't no semi-pro.
You made a pro team.
I didn't make the NBA.
Okay. All right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. So which is the better player?
Yes. Okay.
The one that shoots free throws at 30%.
Right.
The one that shoots free throws at 70%,
right.
or the one that shoots free throws at 95%.
Well, the M95 ain't nobody wearing that, but yeah, the 95% shoots way better for sure.
Okay, so the gator is a 30% free throw shooter. That person's not playing very much.
No, Shaq is a Hall of Famer, dog. He was like around 30. But what I'm saying is, Moose, the Gator is good for walking in, grabbing something, and walking out. The Gator's not good for a comment right now. I'm not going to be sitting there talking to you with the Gator on, standing 3 feet away from you. I'm not doing that. D'Lo can't use a Gator because everybody comes up to him. Can you play Cupid Shuffle again? So he not. A Gator might not be good for D'Lo. He's having those conversations. Can you play Tennessee Whiskey for me, sir, please? Do you mind playing Whoop There It Is? Can you play Whoop? Which I'm sure that has been Whoop There It Is.
I mean, for sure, you know what I'm saying? Those are not Gator-appropriate moments. You know what I mean? Right.
That's so funny, man. Hey, but you're absolutely right. All right, so I'm still tickled by that. Can you play Tennessee Whiskey? Oh, man. All right. Hey, by the way, I got a random game show.
Yes.
Are you guys ready?
Do this.
Hi, this is your host, Moose, a.k.a. Big House. And today we have the celebrity DJ Longgreen in the house. We want his candid and correct approach to some goofy DJ requests. Are you ready, DJ Longgreen?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, I'll tell you what. Run, you can go first. Then Jeezy, and then Moose will go last in round 1. Go.
Great. Can you please play Bye 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 by NSYNC?
Yeah, give me 5 minutes.
No, can you play it now? I'm getting ready to leave, and so it'll be perfect. Bye Bye Bye. Hello.
Oh, well, bye-bye.
Bye Bye Bye.
You didn't pay me, man.
And sing.
$5. Oh, I wasn't done.
Go.
$5. Do play Bye Bye Bye.
Yo, do you know
play right now?
Do you know what I bring home in tips? You know what? Keep that 5 and have a good night.
You are the worst DJ ever.
But I'm working.
Yes.
Boy. The nihilism. No, I'm just kidding. All right. You up, Jeezy. Ready and action.
Yo, I'm gonna slide you this 20. I just saw this chick. I need you to play some Taylor Swift. I knew you was trouble when you walked in. You got me, homie?
Listen, bro. It's a whole lot of black folks in this club. Now, if you want me to stop this fire-ass mix right now, I can do it, but you're going to have to slide me 40 because this don't fit and you're going to make me look funny, bro.
But it got to be the Taylor Swift. I know you were trouble when you walked in. I knew you like that song.
I mean, money talk, man. It's going to cost you a minimum of $40.
I look, $30. You can play another song next to finish out your mix and then drop that Tay-Tay thing. I want to slow it down.
You know what, for 30, man? Man, give me that 30.
Yeah.
Oh, ding. He gets some Taylor Swift played at the blackest club in Naptown.
Yes.
Good job, man. Good job. All right. Somebody introduce me.
This is Moose. Moose, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Your turn. Go.
Hey, yo, DJ Longgreen, man. You are jamming. But hey, man, yo, check this out, man. I need to hear some, like, Keith Murray, some Black Thought. Dog, I need maybe some, you know what I'm saying? I just want to bop my head, man. I see you got all these honeys out there twerking and stuff, man. But you know what? I just want to bop my head for a minute, man. Hey, man, give me some of that Wu-Tang Triumph or something, dog. Can you do that for me, man?
You know what, bro? It's like this. See, I'm from the Midwest, so I think I can figure this out. First, let me go ahead and run some Common in there, a little bit of old school Kanye. That'll help me transition. You know what I'm saying? Then I can run some boom bap hip hop for you, my guy. I got you.
Word, dog. Word, man. Word. Hey, man. That's what I'm talking about right there, man. And by the way, Jeezy, it didn't cost me a dime, dog, because I spoke the language, man.
That's messed up.
Ding. I think Moose is the winner because I had to pay.
For sure.
It's called a Pilgrim Song tax.
Hold on, man. I'm trying to get on. I specifically came to you, man to man, like, yo, shorty that got it. I need you to play this song so I can get on.
Yeah.
Am I getting on too?
Too late now, man. You done blew it. You tried to $30, so it's on me now. I done paid for it.
So, hey, could you imagine this party? If he feels bad about the Pilgrim girl that comes to him, you're gonna hear bye bye bye. You're gonna have this bomb mix, and then you're gonna have some Taylor Swift, and then you're gonna transition right into Wu-Tang Triumph after that. People gonna have a seizure.
Right.
They're gonna be like, "What is he doing?"
Yeah, never get a DJ gig again.
They're like, "I like the music, but it sure doesn't go together."
You know what? I don't believe that. I could do all of it, and I could do it all where I'm working. Only thing is, I just have to MC for myself because I got to explain it out to motherfuckers why this shit is pineapples.
Pineapples.
There's so many different directions.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
Scoop. There it is. Scoop. There it is.
Hey man,
Taco.
you know what? So many people have said I look like old boy with the bucket hat on that I actually know that song now. Like when I grow my beard out, they was like, "Man, that look like you." I'm like, "Dog."
There it is.
And when I saw it, I was like,
The song that came out in the 90s.
dog, from the side, I was like, that does look like me. Like his movements and stuff. I'm like, dog, that is me, man. Yeah. I'm walking around the house going, chocolate chip, Rocky Road. Here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the words to and everything.
Are we gonna play round 2 of this game or no?
Yeah, round 2. Here we go. Are we ready for Ask the DJ? We ready for round 2?
Let's go.
Yes.
Random game show and go. Hi, this is Moose, aka Big House. And next for round 2 and Ask the DJ, we're going to have Run EMC.
Excuse me. So I understand that this is my country bumpkin cousin's barn wedding, but can we get this going? And can you play 2 of America's Most Wanted for me, please?
You know, I like where your head is at. You know what I'm saying? It says a lot about it.
Thank you. And then I figure we could, I got a little something I can share, get you a drink, but like this is really killing my vibe. I need something else at this stupid reception.
Did you guys hear that 40 and Slit?
You know what I'm saying? Your family is full of very fine. It seems like you all probably been in America for a very long time. Date back to like the Quakers or pre-Quakers. So,
we might have been at Plymouth Rock.
I can accommodate you, ma'am, but I'm more inclined to play the clean version if that's cool with you.
That's fine because I'll just shout the actual words, and you know what? They can just take it up with me, and then listen. You can follow me home. We'll make sure you're safe leaving here. I got you.
Oh.
Yo, what you say on that microphone ain't none of my business, ma'am. I'm getting paid regardless, but I got your song.
Thank you.
Ding, ding, ding. DJ point for DJ Longgreen. Man, that was an amazing comeback. And I think you just got hooked up, too. Like, I think you're going to have a good night if you wanted to.
To the apartment and everything.
You know what I'm saying? It's snowing now. You're like, can you follow me home? You're like, well, you know how it is. I'll make sure you're safe.
You know what, matter of fact.
Yeah, let me go ahead and move these DJ trailer out the flex.
We can stay right here and talk about this. Right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hey man, I tell you what, hey, DJ Longgreen. All right, so hey folks, this is America's best and most natural game show. It's the spontaneous game show by the Heavy Hitters Radio Show. I am your host, Moose, aka Big House, and next up we have the one, the only, the star of the Heavy Hitters Radio Show. His name is LGZ Mbaku.
Yes, sir. Hey, what's up, DJ, man? We had this barn wedding, man, with all these Quakers. Man, it's an interracial wedding, so, But check it out, dog. Do you see the bridesmaids? Hey, coach, what I need you to do for me? I want to play. They told me I wanted some old schools. Go ahead and play that Nelly tip drill. Let's get this mug choking.
Yeah, you know what, man? This is my comfort zone, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a good interracial mix. You know what I'm saying? So it's people familiar. We mess with the brothers and all the groom's black folk family here. So That ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? But listen, this the plan, bro. Listen, we're going to turn it up. I'm going to hit the tip drill. You know what I'm saying? They young girls, man, so I got to hit like some city girls and, you know what I'm saying? And
You got it. You got it.
Like we gotta play some Travis Porter, and you know what I'm saying. We absolutely gotta get them going, man. Listen, but this the plan, though, bro. I got you, but I'm gonna get on the mic. You just gotta move the party near the DJ booth. So
it must be your ass because it ain't your face.
I need a tip drill.
Outstanding, man. That was Jeezy, amazing. Now you know what? Obviously, you learned something how to talk. You learn how to talk some DJ language. What's that?
Go with the neighbor music, yo.
That's right. Yes, you did a good job. All right, somebody call me in.
Next up is Moose, a.k.a. Big House.
Actually, hi, my name is Phil. And, you know, I'm so glad you're here at 136 in Noblesville, Indiana. I am so glad you're here doing this wonderful wedding that we're having. I'm not sure where you're from, but this music you're playing, I believe it's called, is it Tip Drill? We really don't play that type of music up here. Like, yeah, it's not, you know, a lot of times when you're north of 38th Street, that's not something that we listen to.
He said north of 38.
Yeah. Here's what I need. I need you to play some polka, and if you could also mix in a little ballroom dancing, that would be amazing, because I can really get my groove on then. Okay, and then to finish it out, I need some big band music. That would be amazing. And I tell you what, Long Green, here's $100 to make it happen.
You know what? One, my guy, first, pay me the money.
Yeah, okay, here you go.
Secondly, bro,
yeah.
You're an asshole, but I got you. Because, see, luckily, when I played Tip Drill, it was after all the dinner and all the chilling. We was all ready to turn up part of the ceremony. If you had gotten here on time, sir, you would have heard all that when they were sitting down having dinner, because I had all the joints. We didn't even get to 38th Street until it was time to turn up.
I know you're saying turn up, but those music, the sound of it up here at this golf course, the songs that I ask you to play are the ones that are amazing. The ones that are amazing.
I wonder if Phil's last name is
Lehman.
You know, it's Perry.
We're not gonna talk.
You guys, I messed up now. Yeah. I got my Laugh Factory on now. I can't get it right.
Hi, I am Phil Wayman.
So, thank you so much for your opportunities, and hey, continue to jam, okay?
All right. Thank you, asshole.
Oh, that's so harsh right now, but that's okay.
So obviously I didn't win.
Everybody give it up for the man trying to ruin the party asking for the music. Hey, yo, Phil, you an asshole, but I got you, bro.
Oh, man. For sure. Hey.
He can really get his groove on to that.
Right. He can at least ask for Phil Collins.
I'm saying.
In the heat of the...
Okay, but that hits kind of hard.
But you know what? I will say that there is some power in having the microphone in those moments, man. Because I've had a couple uncomfortable situations where somebody tried to pay me, and then they tried to punk me on when I was supposed to play this music while I had a packed dance floor. You know what I'm saying? It was a non-brother, it was a non-pilgrim, and it was even a non-Latin person that tried to check. Huh?
Was it Asian? I mean, you can't eliminate a lot of the races.
Nah. They wasn't Asian either. But they thought they had a little cash and some clout.
Oh, so it was Indian.
A little bit more Southwest, you know what I'm saying? But, man, they was
You're going to make me get a globe out here in a second.
Let's go Northeast Africa.
I figured that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, just uncomfortable situation. But you know what I'm saying? The guy paid me $50, and he kept sending this minion up to check me on when I was going to play it. As a matter of fact, Jeezy happened at West Side Pub, and he kept sending this guy up to get me to play his shit, man, his Pineapple, and you know what I'm saying? At some point in time, I fight, and I just started clowning the dude, and I had a couple homies in there with me, so it wasn't as uncomfortable. But I did have my homies walk out with me that night because the back and forth had gotten so ugly and disrespectful at some point. I was like, let's just make sure dude ain't out here playing. So,
right. Hey, he might have been a suicide.
See why me and Jesse James call you Moose?
So I was going to say, so now I understand the conversation I had with you and DJ Jesse James, man, in Naptown, DJ Long Green, man. Hey, all I got to say,
suicide bombers.
Word to the wise folks, be weary of the DJs.
He was strapped up, boy. He was running to your equipment, blowing up.
That's a mess. You're a mess, man.
All over some Pop Smoke, bro.
Over some bad rap music. You're not playing my song right now? No, I'm not. Get out of here.
What do you want to hear? Some Meatloaf? You want to hear Meatloaf?
No, he literally wanted to hear some Pop Smoke, man. If you happen to hear Pop Smoke's Welcome to the Party or something like that, man, it's garbage to me. You know what I'm saying? And I had a dance floor full of chicks going. But he was determined that he was going to hear it right then and there because he slipped me 50. And in hindsight, I probably should have. That would have been good business because he paid me at that moment. But I already told him up front, I will run it after I get through with this, but I got all these people, and I'm not about to wreck my flow just to play this song. And I didn't have the microphone yet at that point.
Okay. Hey, it totally makes sense, man. Hey, that was another rendition, another piece of our random, spontaneous game show. Hey, you guys listen to Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. This is Moose, a.k.a. Big House. If you're watching, as a matter of fact, I'm going to take some time tomorrow and post this one on our YouTube channel, maybe our Facebook if I can get it on there, so you guys will be able to see it and listen to it and be all up on it. Again, like I said, you know what? I have not checked to see if Big Gates has talked to us. All right, guys, let's get into this impeachment trial real quick that went down last weekend. So here's what happened. Was that February 6th, right? February 6th. No. Yeah.
January 6th.
Sorry. January 6th.
Storm the Capitol.
Then President Trump gave an impassioned speech, and which a lot of folks say incited insurrection. When that happened, these folks stormed the Capitol. They wanted to hang Mike Pence. They wanted to kill Nancy Pelosi. They wanted to endanger all the folks that were inside the Capitol building.
Can I stop you right there for a second?
Please.
Real quick. All summer long. Oh shit, y'all! Get the confidence in this bitch. We'll get nervous. All right.
We're not together, so I can cough all I want to over here.
All summer long, we have had protests. Then they call them what, y'all? They call them riots, right? I've never heard the word insurrection on none of the things that was going on with us. I never heard there's an insurrection. I mean, almost like a club I want to go to. Insurrection. Yeah, come down Thursday, the club, insurrection. I mean, it's not like a place I want to be.
And get some now-laters when you leave.
Riots, looters. You know, I never heard the term looter, but they were clearly stealing stuff.
Right.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey man, you know what?
Please.
Hey, you know what? Here's where Moose kind of goes on the. I use the word drastic because I'm not militant, but I mean it's the same thing that when you had the crack epidemic, it was but it wasn't epidemic. They didn't say that it was crack, and it was a war on drugs, and it was bad, and we want them, we taking them guys to jail. And then as soon as they start taking narcotics, start taking pills, all of a sudden, now we got a drug that'll bring you back to life. We give you Narcan, bring you back to life. We're gonna send you to the hospital. We're gonna take care of you because you're doing this other drug. It's not a war on drugs at that point. It's an epidemic of mass proportions when all of a sudden it was in Terre Haute and it was down in the bowels of Alabama, in the bowels of Florida, and in the bowels of in Brown County, Indiana. All of a sudden it was an epidemic. But when it was crack, it was the
same drug though. Same drug.
Pretty much the same stuff, man. Pretty much the same stuff. And the only difference is because one affected people with dark skin, and the other affected pilgrims. That's the only difference. They tried to save them. They tried to wipe folks like us, us the three men in this room, out, and that's how it went down. And I'm not the most revolutionary man. I get that, but I also understand that was the case. Narcan. I'm sure they could have came up with something that brought you back from crack, right? But they didn't. What they did was they put your handcuffs and waited till you was out, waited till you was asleep, waited till you was dead. And I can't wait to talk about Judas and the Messiah because at the one part where they moved old boy, and old boy went after him, they moved him to the general hospital. He was in the nice hospital. They moved him to the general hospital and he came up dead. Come on, man. Or
well, they killed that brother on the way.
Or when they were outside the headquarters, and they got to shooting everybody, and then blew it up in front. Poured gas in there and blew it up in front of everybody. Ain't nobody said nothing. So anyway, and I try to explain to people, man, that yes, the world is a little bit different, but not a lot different. Not a lot different. Yeah, they're not blowing our spots up, but they blowing our spots up in different ways. So anyway, all right, my bad, but so man, what are we talking about? I know I got off on
insurrection.
We're talking about drugs.
It is funny what people hear. All right, so yeah, we're talking about the insurrection. So yeah, you're right. It wasn't they weren't looting, they weren't robbing, they weren't stealing and killing. It was an insurrection because the crowd was different. All right, so what are your thoughts on that? I'll tell you what, I'm gonna step over. I can still hear what's going on, so I have my 2 cents. But Long Green, if you want to go first, man, talk about your thoughts on the insurrection and then the impending impeachment trial. If you want to get into that, the impending impeachment trial and kind of the state of affairs today.
That's cool. You know what I'm saying? The whole insurrection piece was definitely a shock to me. Just watching it unfold. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's wild to me in the sense that these people literally, not even figuratively, stormed the Capitol.
Literally stormed the Capitol. Literally, yes.
You know what I'm saying? To jack some stuff up, man. So I think it was pretty bold. I think impeaching Donald Trump was the right thing, but you know what I'm saying? It's not a criminal trial. The trial is a completely political process. You know what I'm saying? So to even hear that even that man was acquitted, to hear that this particular trial had more bipartisan support than any previous impeachment trial is kind of interesting too. But I think more than anything, this is really going to set up some potentially big divisions within the conservative party. You know what I'm saying? Because in a very real way, there is a large group of people that represent and approve what happened on January 6th, and a lot of the element for their dissatisfaction with the country are rooted in issues and freedoms related to Black folk. You know what I mean? So I hope that any which way that the former president can be sued and held accountable, I think it's absolutely necessary. My biggest fear is that now, anytime there's a transition of power in any political race on any level, if the loser then states, I was robbed, presents no evidence, and has enough supporters, you know what I'm saying, they can go and do the same thing, and whoever incited it, gets away with feeling like I'm not going to be held accountable for it, even if they held the rally, whatever. You know what I mean? So the scary thing for me in this is that now you've almost set a precedent for the president to almost do whatever he wants to do in his last couple of weeks, and we're going to let it ride.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is, like, think back to, and I'm going to say pineapples. Bill Clinton was impeached, found guilty, impeached, for getting a blowy in the Oval Office.
Correct.
It's terrible.
He was impeached. So he don't have no Secret Service, like all his presidential stuff that you get when you leave the office. Clinton has none of that. This man got up there and got his people to go up there and basically overthrow the government.
Like, it seems like it wouldn't get any more serious than that.
Right.
So then, while it was going on, tweeting about it, saying that Mike Pence was a coward, and all of this stuff, like, to the point where these people were screaming, "Kill the blue," hang, like, I mean, all of this stuff was happening, and he was pretty much, he still gets all his presidential benefits leaving the White House.
I mean, but to me, it's so sad because it's all shrouded in patriotism. You know what I'm saying? And growing up, my perspective, my very naive and immature perspective was that the type of people that attacked the Capitol that day were the bad people in America. Those were the people that worked for the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always assumed that collectively, we naturally kind of understood that these are bad Americans. You know what I'm saying? But what happened here, you know what I'm saying, really looks no different than what happened in Benghazi or any place else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but see, what the problem is that those who spoke out, who went against Trump, they won't get rid of their time for their election 6 years from now. 6 and 4 years from now. The ones that was like, you know, anti, I can't think of the damn word now, who was against impeachment are the ones that got to be elected this year or in 2 years. So they still want his followers. A lot of those people still want his runoff of his people to keep them in office. So it's not about the country. It's about saving your own neck, man. And that's all. Like, very few Republicans came out and it was just like, you know what, commit career suicide essentially for the betterment of the country.
Right.
Which was sad.
I commend the ones who did commit. A lot of those people will commit political suicide. Like, they won't get reelected.
There was only 7. There was only 7 that voted. 7 Republicans that voted for impeachment. So, like, maybe they created political suicide, but the other ones stayed along the party lines. And don't get me wrong.
Here's my question.
Hold on. Even Mitch McConnell came out. Mitch McConnell voted. He voted to say, to not impeach, but then made a speech afterwards saying, well, it was his fault. And what they did was they relied on, and sorry, Ron, I don't know if you're going to say this or not, but they relied on a technicality that how can you impeach? Impeachment is for a president, and he's technically not the president anymore.
Correct.
And the thing is, this was all set up as to why they pushed the trial to when he was out, so they can use that defense. Well, he's not the president anymore, so why are we wasting time on this? So,
Ron, what do you think?
But
I think that it's insane. I think that Charles Manson never killed anyone, but he's still held responsible for the actions of the people. I don't know technically if Hitler ever killed anyone or not, but I mean, he definitely led that charge. So I just don't understand why we feel like when people do lead these charges and convince people to do other things, that now since Donald Trump's not the president anymore, he's just totally free and clear.
Well, really, I won't say he's free and clear yet because there will be a civil stuff coming down the pipe. There might even be some criminal charges, and that's really based off who's the judge,
right?
That you get from that. So, he's not out of the hot water yet, but he definitely skated on this one.
Yeah, I would also just like to say a big pineapple to Mitch McConnell and Ted Cruz. Just a real big pineapple you know?
You know what's funny? Like, McConnell, I get. Like, he's a whatever. But Cruz, this man said stuff about your wife. He went at your wife.
Yo, he's a man boy.
We got videotapes of you doing something. He got some over your head that he's holding against you. Like that you remain loyal to this man over your spouse that he just spit all kind of venom towards.
Right.
I mean, he said your daddy killed JFK.
All of that. And you still support this dude to the end.
You said it in the streets in front of everybody?
I mean, Ted Cruz is the ultimate ride or die.
Ted Cruz
he's more loyal than maybe anybody.
Ted Cruz reminds me of Samuel L. Jackson on when he was at Candyland. Same cat.
Right. Who that on that
man? I have a curveball I'm gonna throw at you guys, man, because I watch so much news. So I saw Lindsey Graham on Sunday.
You know what? Pineapple to Lindsey Graham too.
Lindsey Graham brought up a very interesting thought. If the Republicans win back the House, there could possibly be some impeachment trial charges for Kamala, Vice President Harris, because during the riots, I guess I don't know if she paid for people to get out, or somehow there were some people that got out of jail because of her, and then they re-injured someone. So he just brought it up. He said, what this has done for Trump is now opened up the proceedings so that if we win back the House, then we can impeach Vice President Harris. I tell you what, I don't even know who to go first. You guys just decide and then take turns, because I know all you're going to be impassioned about this one. Run, you might have to go last, because I know you probably seasoned.
Let's go last.
All right, D-Lo, go ahead, buddy.
I think a lot of this, the last 4 years have opened up Pandora's box for a lot of different stuff that happened that we've never seen before in our lifetime. Because the thing is, as we found out, sometimes you got to write stuff down. A lot of stuff that we assume that the president should do, we just assume because, that's what everybody else done before him. It wasn't written down. There was the law that said that you have to get rid of your businesses to be the president. We assume that you had to get rid of all business ties once you enter the White House, because every other president has done that. It's a conflict of interest. There was no law against it. There was no constitution. There's anything in the Constitution that says you have to. So it wasn't written down. There's no law that says you can't hire your family. We call it nepotism, but but there was no law against it. There's nothing in the Constitution that says you can't do that. So now he's opened up so many avenues where people are like, well, there's a law against it. Impeaching the president once he's out of office. We've never done that before. But guess what? Everybody don't get the Bill Cosby treatment now. We might go back to Jimmy Carter and find something he did. Like, you open up the door to everything now. Nothing's off the table now.
Man, you know what? Hey, that's a really good point. But again, I mean, the fact that he puts it out there in people's heads now, and I want to say this before we get. I know we're going to DJ Longer next, but and we know, Jeezy, what you pointed to is that
is literally half of the United States is pro-Republican, pro-Trump. Like, we know that. Like, it's proven with the popular vote that we know that half of the United States, the people that vote, are Republicans, and and the other half, slightly more, and basically what you're going to have is you're going to have typically a 3% margin, maybe a little more, of people that are going to vacillate between the two. So we know that, man, half the United States does not like what we're talking about. And 17% of that other half that are Republican are pro-Trumplican.
Wait. You know what, Moose? I kind of disagree with that. And I'm going to tell you why I kind of disagree with that. I think a lot of people, a lot of Republicans that voted, yes, I think a lot of them are pro-Trump, but I think a lot of them are pro-Republican. They're going to vote Republican no matter what. I think that's the problem with a two-party system. It's always going to be a divide. Like, if you look at Hillary and Bernie, they're both Democrats, but they are so far apart on their belief system. Like, Bernie and Hillary are nowhere near the same people, and they're both Democrats. So I feel like if you open it up to a multiple party system, then you'll see those numbers decrease as far as like Republican support, Democratic support. If you open it up to where you have, say, 5 or 6 different parties and included, and those numbers totals will then drop to 20%, 30% for each party, and whoever get the most of those will win. But when you have a split party, you only got 2 people you can choose from. So a lot of people just don't like liberals at all, no matter what. They're not necessarily pro-Trump, they just don't like liberals. So they're going to vote for conservative, no matter what. You got people that may not necessarily like Biden, but hey, he's a Democrat, so I'm going to vote for him. Because a lot of, the thing is, Biden is really conservative Republican. He's a conservative Democrat.
Been there a long time.
A lot of stuff that he plays is very conservative.
Yeah.
But he's not the same as a Bernie Sanders or a Hillary Clinton. But he's the one on that side of the aisle, man. So that's who you vote for.
Yeah, no, well, I just want to be clear. I don't know if you heard me or not. I apologize. Only 17% of the Republican Party are Trumplicans. So the other 17% are staunch Republican, and then then the other faction are just kind of the old style, kind of vacillate back and forth type. All right, Long Green, what's your thoughts, man? Well, you went first, didn't you? Did you go first?
What's that?
Did you go first?
Huh? Nah, Gigi went first.
Okay, all right, my bad.
You know what I'm saying? But I agree with Gigi. I think you're opening up Pandora's box. But I also like to point out, you know what I'm saying, that's fine, well and good that Lindsey Graham floated that idea, but he's a senator and not a representative, so he can float the idea, but, you know what I'm saying, he's powerless to start the impeachment proceedings against anybody, you know what I'm saying? So that they could do it, but it's a very slippery slope, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, again, much like Gigi said, man, you just open it up too much to be able to go back and really nitpick at people. But I think also the Democratic Party has got to learn from their past mistakes, not take their foot off the gas when it comes to these next elections. You know what I'm saying? They got to tap into the Stacey Abrams and a bunch of different communities, you know what I'm saying, and really hone in on that black vote or own that mail-in ballot voting, you know what I'm saying, that obviously seemed to work so well in a couple of major cities. So I think if they execute on those opportunities, they can still make it challenging for the Republicans to take back the House. You know what I mean? But they got to do the work, and that's the problem I've always had with Democrats. When they get in high office or when they get the presidency, they sit. They become real soft. It's like, you know what I'm saying, now we can take some pressure off instead of staying aggressive. And I hope these past 4 years at least brought out some shark in the Democratic Party, because I think things that they've done in the past where they've lost elections and lost majorities when they shouldn't have, at some point in time has got to quit biting you in the pineapple.
Hey, folks, you've heard us say pineapple several times in our discussion. What that is that a lot of times you could hear some sort of expletive near that. And so a lot of times what we do is we make a mistake. So your children get some sort of education in using some strong language. But then if we hear pineapple, that means you might hear something later. And with that, I think the lady of the house is up. So pineapples, because holy cow, she considers herself an allied trainer, and a staunch supporter of the movement.
So, dear Lindsey Graham, F you, how dare you hate women and black people so much that you want to impeach Vice President Harris, but Trump did everything just right? He's cool? No, we're not doing that. Here's the thing. We already know that white people in America do not like black people, and we already know that white men...
You can't say that.
Yes, I can. And we already know that white men in America do not accept women in positions of power. They cannot.
Right. That brush is too wide, man. You can't say that.
It's not. It's actually.
So, Ron, you don't like none of us on the show. So, Ron, what you're saying is you don't like none of us on the show.
I'm not white. I'm beige.
No, right. What you're saying is
there's a clear distinction
right now.
There's a clear distinction between white people and beige people. There are white people. Listen.
You know, we should say pilgrims, by the way.
And there are people who happen to be white, and those people are very in their positions.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
I'm lost on that. Anyway, go ahead.
White people and people who happen to be white. White people are Karens, if you will. Let me try to. And then people who happen to be white are allies. Think about person first language, right? There's white people. They are white first. Then there are people who happen to be white. They are people first.
I'm with you now in the person first language.
Thank you.
I'm not doing that. I'm not with you. But go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
That's fine. You don't have to be with me. So we know that men cannot handle women in high positions of power.
Oh,
so how dare you?
You say men? All men?
White men.
I mean, look, Jeezy, if nothing else, it's a general thought. She has first-hand knowledge, and there are probably statistics that back up the belief in what she's saying.
Ask any person in Washington how they feel about Vice President Harris.
Never, always, because there are people who are on the Democratic ticket that are white that are in favor of Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris. And they are white males. So I don't get what you're saying. You can't say that. You can say some, you can say most, you can say in my experience. Yeah, when you say all, that's super the blanket.
You didn't say all.
I didn't say all. How about this?
You did say all.
I didn't. The old white men.
The first statement was all.
If you're going to get that specific, Jeezy, then technically she didn't say all. She said white people, but she never said all. If you're going to get that specific.
Thank you, D-Lo. Appreciate you.
Her first statement was all.
Here, I'll correct it. The old white men in Washington, most, probably 99% of them, have an issue with women in high positions of power. Yes, they do. They do.
I mean, history will show you
there
that.
There are old white men that are Democrats. Yes, there are old white guys that are Democrats. They have no problem. With Hillary Clinton and have no problem with Vice President Harris. They have no problem with her at all.
There's more women in power in Washington than just those two.
Yes,
Hey, speaking of that, man, AC, what's her name?
AOC.
She's hot. Is that bad?
Run like that either. Run's a
AOC president 2024.
She's
AOC Pornhub.
She might be old enough to run in 2024.
She might be too cute to be president. Cass would be like, nah.
Man, she is fierce.
I'm trying to holler at the president.
Can you imagine the conversations when the other foreign leaders got in the room together and she walked in?
No, Trudeau up in Canada, he like, yo, I'm trying to holler because he's a good looking guy.
We rule the entire
Trudeau,
world.
like, you know what? We're about to erase that whole border. We're gonna just be together, baby. I'm gonna bring the whole thing together. It's gonna be us. We ain't gonna be Canada no more. We're gonna be North America like we supposed to be. Me and you, baby, Trudeau. Trudeau, I hear you. I hear you, Trudeau. I'm with you. Look, put me on the cabinet. I'll be like, yeah, I know. I understand, man. I understand. I'm going, and you know, we're going to the free border now because you got AOC. What's the end of her name? Yeah, AOC.
Yes.
Yeah, man, she's hot. Hey, man, it's the Heavy Hitters Radio Show. You guys are listening. You know, we can't. We got to be remiss if we don't get into a movie that came out this week, man. And I appreciate you guys. Your guys' passion and intellect on that last topic we talked about. But this is Brews and Reviews. Jeezy, what is Brews and Review? Oh, you eating right now?
Brews and Reviews basically how the heavy hitters rate things. So basically, it's a reverse rating system. So the more beers it takes to enjoy something, that means it was bad. Like David Copperfield in Vegas. That was like 10 brews. It was the worst. Or if you enjoy it and it was really good, so let's say like Avengers Infinity Wars, it's like 0 brews, man. Maybe you don't need no brews to enjoy it.
Outstanding, man. And and gone are the days, Jeezy, in the early days of the Heavy Hitters when we would posse up with several of us and our listeners and go watch premieres in midnight. I mean, I would sleep through most of them, but it was cool. It was cool that we went and did it. Yeah, it was cool that we did it, man. We missed it.
It was the good old days when it was less COVID.
That's my new favorite thing, man. I used to say, you getting COVID all over me? I'm saying, you being COVID-y right now. Yeah.
Right.
All right, so guys, Brews and Reviews, man. Let's get into Judas and the Messiah. Is currently, I think it's in theaters and on HBO Max. You know, we're doing it during the pandemic. So I saw it on HBO Max with the big sis, and actually Run fell through, and we all watched it at the same time. Oh yeah, her and big sis watched it at the same time. I fell asleep the first time, then I finished it like the next day because that's how I do.
Big sis saw parts of it.
That's how I do. So, all right, Jeezy, open it up, man. What you got, man?
Well, unlike the last movie we talked about a couple of weeks ago, American Scam, that I felt like went 80% there and then decided to pump the brakes because they want the movie to be made. This movie went 100% there. And what I mean by 100% there, you had alpha black men in a position of power in the movie. And not only did they have a position of power in the movie, the antagonist of this movie was the FBI and police officers. Now, we know the story about, what happened with him getting killed and everything. We know the story. However, there was actual shootouts with police officers on camera, and police officers were killed on camera in this movie. One was killed at point blank range where he said, please don't. And it happened. Now, granted, the dude died shortly after that, but still, it happened. Like, it was a revolution. It was a revolution, and to me, it was perfectly laid out. I didn't come away from the movie being super angry because, obviously, I knew what happened. Obviously, like I told Moose earlier, I felt like I had some inside baseball because back in the Heavy Hitters Vice days, we had the Black Panthers, the new Black Panther show, and they told us stuff that was in the movie. So I mean, it was a great movie. I give it 0 brews. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It had me asking more questions. But overall, I thought it was well written. I thought the pace was good. I thought the story behind it was good, and it was some things I didn't even know how he went and he brought the Ku Klux Klan and a Patriot Party and created the Rainbow Coalition. Like, just how he went in that church and broke it down and was like, dude, like, y'all poor like us. Cops come around busting y'all heads too. Y'all need to come up with us. And it was just like, and it was like, yeah, like we all together, all of us together can overturn what they got going on, man. And I thought it was excellent, yo. Zero bruise for me.
Ron, if you want to go last, you can. I'll go right now. I tell you what, man. I watched it, and you know, after meeting and been in the same room with on the movie they called them the Crowns, but I think they were the beginnings of the El Rukins. You know, like the transition was Crowns to Blackstones to El Rukins, and then they talked about the disciples who are now growth and development. And then then there's also the vice lords that were there. And then what I thought was cool, man, was Fred Hampton then went to the Patriots, and the Klan, and was like, "Yo, I know y'all don't like us, but we all against the same enemy. If we get together, then we are the power in this." And he always kept saying, "The power is in the people. The power is in the people." And holy cow, I was just amazed at the fact that this guy that started when he was like 19, 20, and had this much revolutionary understanding, had this much forethought to bring these groups together, which created the Rainbow Coalition, that were bringing people of all colors together. See, that was a thing. That's the reason, at that point, from what I understand,
they made them dangerous.
Right, it made them dangerous because they were creating a situation where everybody was together, man. And what's his name? J. Edgar Hoover, who, from what I learned today, his you guys know he was a cross dresser, right? And so when he was dressed like a woman, he was married. But J. Edgar Hoover, was like, I never forget in the movie. I'm gonna say this, and I apologize if you haven't seen it. But when he said, if we put him in jail, it's gonna make him a star.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna write a book, and he's gonna be a bestseller. And that's all he said. He didn't say anything else. All right. I thought to myself, man, like these cats are really tripping on this, really trying to keep the man down. So, besides that, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I give it zero bruise as well. I absolutely enjoyed that movie. Folks, if you don't know, if you're just now listening, Moose cannot start a movie after about 6 o'clock in the evening. Like, it's over with. Like, I'm falling asleep every single time if I start a movie that late. So I started the movie too late. I fell asleep. But I watched it today, and it was amazing. Or yesterday, I guess to say. And it was amazing. I give it zero bruise. Run.
So I really liked the movie. I learned a lot from it. And so I appreciated that. And I did not fall asleep during the first watching of the movie because I was really into it. I will say that it's maybe not a movie to start at 10 p.m. on a Sunday, Saturday, whatever. Only because it is, part of it feels like a documentary. There are a lot of action scenes, but you have to, if you don't already know the story, you've got to pay attention to it. And so maybe don't start it late, but I would still say zero bruise. It's definitely super informative, and if you haven't seen it, take the time to watch it because we're in a snowpocalypse anyway. What else do you have to do?
Might as well watch.
All right.
You might as well watch them, man.
Right, learn something.
Hey, so hey guys, here's what it comes down to, man. I think we give it. I think we all give it zero bruise, man. It's pretty amazing. I know D'Lo and I have been talking recently about about the movement and all the people and all the struggles that we seems to face the new African Black Panther Party and all that. And so all we do is support them the best we can, and kind of let them do their thing You know, and understand them, and we're just humanists. So, D-Lo, do you have any thoughts about us? You know, of the fact that you know if we're advancing the movement or advancing the Rainbow Coalition.
In general, I'm probably have to slide on this particular question, just because I can't tie it back to the movie. Confession: I didn't get a chance to watch the movie yet, so I don't want to. I don't want to try and speak about something if we're trying to tie it back into the movie.
Oh no, I knew that. No, I knew that part. I didn't know if you had any thoughts just about the fact that here's the cool thing. Jeezy and I talked about this recently.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff that happened in the movie, I was like, yeah, I heard that already. Okay. because of what Jeezy calls the Vice days of the Heavy Hitters radio show. So we knew about Fred Hampton. We knew that J. Edgar Hoover was after them. We knew that you know they were after the leaders of all the street organizations in Chicago. You know, Melvin, what was his name? Melvin Lamb and all those guys, man. Like we knew that, you know, now they're trying to come together and bring that thing together, but we knew. So what are your candid thoughts on going forward, right? Going forward, what is it going to look like? What should we do?
You know what I'm saying? It's I think there are a number of different ways we've still got to continue to band together. And I know not all of us will be working on the same thing. And I don't think that's a bad thing. For example, the people that protested, that was their job. You know what I'm saying? They played their particular role, but that wasn't necessarily for everybody. But we still have common causes and common grievances that we have to be able to pull together to try and support. And you know what I'm saying? Some of our parties, like and not political parties, but groups, organizations like the New Black Panther Party, what have you. You know, even though not everything that they speak and say is representative of me, you know, I think we still have some of the same issues, and I think they still play a very important role as far as being the voices on the front lines. Because you know what I'm saying, when a cat like some of us, some of the brothers that listen to us, maybe don't necessarily have the flexibility to go out there and be on camera and be the loudest one, and you know what I'm saying, and even grouped in with a group of people that's behavior may be questionable, or you know what I'm saying, just you have to be careful, but that doesn't mean that you can't play a role. It just means you can't do the same thing everybody else is doing. So if everybody else is fighting on the front lines, then I think there's other things that I should be doing, whether it be teaching or reaching out, writing letters to somebody. Like there are things that we still have to do. I think we all have a role in being active to improve our situations. But that's kind of my perspective on it.
Yeah.
And kind of piggyback off what D-Lo said, is there something that happened, it's probably been 2 weeks ago at this point, that to me illustrated the powers that be worst fear. And that was the GameStop bubble that happened, where all of a sudden these poor people became financially aware and jumped on something all at the same time. And it changed the way that they did business and the way that they can affect us on a day-to-day basis. I think one of the biggest things that we need to have to move forward is a overall financial literacy. Understanding how money works, because with money comes change, with money comes power. And as long as you ain't got no money, you can talk about you can have as many marks as you want to, but you have no political currency.
Right.
None, because you don't have any money. You add money to that situation, you put money behind them groups, you put money behind marching, now all of a sudden they gotta listen. They got to, because you have financial power, and with that game stuff, you have billionaires on TV crying because they lost their wealth, essentially going bankrupt because of what the people did. of how the people came together and jumped on something. They found out a game that y'all been playing this whole time. Somebody gave us a key or the cheat code to the rules behind these games, and people jumped on it. So I think that learning financial literacy, learning how the stock market works, learning how money works, learning that thing can change our position. And moving forward, now we have political currency to where we can say now we can buy a politician to fit our needs. We're going to put you in office and you're going to speak to our agenda. The same way that they've been doing this for years. The same way that lobbyists, they've been doing this for years. They got people speaking on their behalf. So once we become financially, aware, it's over. Game over.
It's all about making the plan and executing the plan. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have a plan, and I think as Black people, if we let too many outside forces kind of do what's always been done, infiltrate us and scramble us and change the message and refocus and redirect us, then we'll be back at square one trying to figure things out. But I absolutely agree with you, Jeezy. The core thing is, man, if we got our own financial literacy up across our community, collectively we could play a different game.
Facts.
And there's no question. And I know, like, I'm totally taking a turn here. I think, and Ron, did you have any thoughts about what we just talked about?
No, because I had to get up and take care of my dog, so I missed part of the conversation.
D-Lo.
Do we still have a brew and review available?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Always.
Cool. All right, well, just circling back to that, I did get to watch something here recently. I watched a documentary. I believe it was either on Netflix or Amazon. It was called Crack. And it really went through like some crazy back history. And there were always things, I'm sure, much like the movie that you all watched, there were some things that we already knew and understood. But it was kind of interesting to go back and just see it all together in one particular piece of work. Just kind of demonstrating the timeline, talking to the former dealers, talking to high-level people, talking to a lot of former users and what have you. It was horrible, and it always breaks my heart anytime I see any information or news or reports reflecting on back in that crack era, you know what I'm saying? Because those were times I vividly remember, you know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of people destroyed by being users, you know what I'm saying? And that's the most painful parts. There were so many users that were impacted by this. But I will say that, in my opinion, the reverse side of the crack being so bad and the penalties for crack being so bad, what I learned in this documentary, I'm going to bring this back. What I learned in this documentary, that I didn't even realize that crack is just unsalted cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all they're doing is taking out the salt on cocaine to give you crack. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, and we know the penalties were so much harsher for Black users than for cocaine users in other communities. But I just thought it was interesting when I reflect back on it, because we did have this perception, because crack was so heavily penalized, that a lot of Black folks I knew completely moved away from it, because we assumed because it was hard, much more harshly penalized, it must have been a much worse drug. You know what I'm saying? So I think that put some fear in a lot of people in my generation to even reach out and decide that crack might be an option for them. So it destroyed our communities, but it also steered a large generation of people away from the drug altogether. But I give that documentary, I'm gonna probably say one brew. It wasn't perfect, but it was great to watch.
Tell me what the title again was, brother?
Crack.
Okay, I'll definitely search that out, man, and watch it. I feel like I got a little time tomorrow, so I will definitely check that out. And probably will try to watch it tomorrow. Hey man, this is the Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. We're grinding to the end, but we got a little more content for y'all for sure. All right, so guys, now we did some bruising reviews and we talked about kind of all the things that are happening. Man, there was a question or some stuff that we talked about earlier. We talked about crack. Remember earlier I talked about Narcan and all that stuff and how now when cats die, we can save them, but when they were on crack, we could not save them. So guys, I mean, do you think there's ever going to be a time? Do you think there's ever going to be a time where, I mean, I don't like using this word. This is heavy right here, by the way. Is there ever going to be a time where the United States achieves equity?
No, it wasn't built on equity.
I'm sorry?
It wasn't built on equity. So why would it achieve it down the line? It could never be. It could never be that way because the infrastructures are already occupied. I mean, all the major businesses. I mean, the only way we can achieve equity is if we advance in the cyberspace. But as far as like any of the architectural stuff, like it's over for that. They got all that stuff. We have to focus our energy. But what, D-Lo?
But I'm just curious, Jeezy, when you say that's not an option, but previously you were talking about the financial literacy being so important. So what's the end game for financial literacy if it's not to get equity? Because I think that if you have a financial literacy, the more of you that start understanding, the more of you that can put yourselves in equitable situations in this country.
I don't think that even the stock market has an owner. So we would never be a part of that group. Never. Like we would never be a part of that elite group. Like never. We can get to a level to where we're doing good for ourselves, but we would never be equal. We would never have equity in the United States. Like never. That never will happen. They won't allow that to happen.
That is a very bleak outlook.
If we got two financial networks, they'll just change the rules. Because again, they're in those positions to do those things. So we can never. I mean, we can achieve financial literacy to better our communities, but equity, I think, by how Moose said it, is something completely different that I don't think that we'll never achieve in this country. We'll never be on equal footing.
Wow. Ron, you got some thoughts about that?
Man, yes. So I would like to first say that equity and equality are two different words. And so I think Moose was probably pretty conscious of that when choosing the wording here. So equity is that everybody has what they need, right? So, for example, I wear a size 9 shoe. And so someday I decide I'm going to buy the Heavy Hitters all brand new shoes, right? So equity would mean that each person gets a pair of shoes in their own size because that is what they need. Equality means that everybody gets the same shoes, same size. It's not helpful if you get a pair of shoes that are a women's size 9, right? So that, I'm just saying, this is an example. Okay, so
I'm not a fan of that, and I apologize. Go ahead. I'm not a fan of that.
That's okay. Equality means everyone gets equal things. Equity means everyone gets what they need. Okay, so I just would like to point that out.
Well, and so I use equity only because that's the fab word these days. But here's the thing.
That is the hot word.
So here's what you said. Everybody gets what they need. Who makes that rule up? What they need?
Well, when it comes to social issues, that would be white people. Right? And white people don't know what everyone needs.
Easy? Long range?
Yeah, I mean, well, your initial question was, will we have equal what?
It was about equity.
What was your initial question?
It was about equity.
Well, equal equity.
Yeah, it was about equity.
You said equal, right?
Equity.
We will never be equal. I don't care how you say it. Equal and equity, equal and equality. The key word is equal, which means the same, and we won't never get that. Never. We'll never be equal on any level. Or how you say it, how you speak, we will never be equal. Never. It will never happen. Man. I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad thing. It will never happen, but I don't even expect that.
It is a bad thing. You kidding me?
I don't expect but see, the thing is, you can still have a great life as long as you understand what lane you need to move in. Like, we are in a certain... Don't Moose. There are people in this world that make a lot of money, do a lot of good things in this world, and they stay in their lane. They know the lane they in. That's it. I can't wish for something that is unachievable. I'm wasting my time focusing on something that will never happen. It will never happen. Equal anything will never happen. But that's not saying that in my lane, in my life, in our lane, in our life, where we at, that we can't be... they had Black Wall Street. That was in a time where black nothing, but they found a lane. They found their lane. And
the white people burned it down.
They burned it exactly. But I'm saying at that point in time, before it was burned down, we managed to find our way in our area to make everything work for us.
Man, it was like Hiroshima out there in Oklahoma, man. They burnt that joint down even from the air, man, from the federal government.
They did, but Moose, what I'm saying is, even now, if you look at black folks today, and you look at where we are today, we're not equal, right? We don't have equal equity or equal equality. We don't have none of that stuff. However, we are still able to move through this world and find a good line. We have good lives. We can live a good life where we are in this system that we're in. It's a system that we're in. That's what I mean. You got to find a way to move and shake and move in the system that you've been put in. And that's something that I think black folks have excelled in and found a way
we had to
make something out of nothing.
We had to. And
we have to.
Jeezy, I love you, but like I do not like how you said shake and move, because all I can think of is the remember the overseer. The overseer said, the guy said, "Hey man, I gotta use the bathroom." He was like, "You go in that bush, man, but I want you to shake that bush, and I want you to tell me shaking over here, boss." Right? That's a real thing that happened. Matter of fact, you guys probably saw it in a couple movies depicted when they say shaking over here, boss, because the guy had to use the bathroom. So the overseer, who was a brother, made the other brother go in the bush, but while he's taking a piss in the bush, he had to shake the bush to show that he was still there while he's using the restroom, right? And that's what they say, shaking over here, boss. And so I've always had a problem with that. Now, don't get me wrong. I get it, folks. The way the United States is built, you know what? Unfortunately, we still need pilgrims to sometimes help us ascend to different positions, because that's the way it's set up. But I feel like at some point, folks will ascend. If we get the right people in Congress and in the Senate, and even in the presidency, where at some point, because guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, I mean, we all of us know. All of us know. Yeah, we have one. All of us know that if we get more people like AOC and Harris and all the people in there, and we get in there and we get moving around, then things will start to change. Especially if it's all these. Hey, look, all these children, all these Africans that are growing up now, get them in politics so they can say, well, my daddy was black, and I understand the plight, and I get what's happening. Or my mama was black, and I get what's happening. So who knows? My hope is that at some point we're looking at some sort of equal situation. I'm never going to say never. Not in my lifetime. Long Green, not in your lifetime. Not Jeezy, not in your lifetime. Maybe in Run's lifetime, but I doubt that too. But in the next generation, my hope is that...
Run ain't that far behind us, man. We let that Run 20 years old.
In my mind, I am.
She's still a decade. All right, guys.
That's true.
Hey, and two decades in my case. Hey, guys, listen.
Not quite, but close.
Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. We funky fresh in the place, guys. Long Green.
Yo.
Mount Rushmore, man. You ready? Mount Rushmore time. You guys ready?
We ain't gonna run that news. We gonna news today?
Oh, I wasn't even. I'm tripping. I'm sorry,
There's all
Jeezy.
kinds of news happening in the world.
Jeezy, you're right. I apologize.
Can you give us a Rushmore preview before run that news?
No.
I list now?
All right, go, Ron. Jeezy,
Okay.
good job.
Okay.
My bad. I forgot, man.
So I would like to start by playing another spontaneous game show because there is this new meme going around because you guys know I got to bring in the Kardashians, but I think this one will be fun. So there's a meme going around and it's Kourtney, Khloe, and Kim. Okay, so the three sisters that are Rob Kardashians, except we're still not actually sure about Khloe. Okay, but so it says, name a more iconic trio. I'll wait. And I can think of at least 15. So I would like to know more iconic trios than those three.
I mean, you got Jordan, Pippen, and Robin.
That's a good one.
What else you got?
Oh man, I mean, I can probably go on forever and ever. Let me see. I can stay in basketball and go Magic. I'm gonna go Magic, Worthy, and Kareem.
I'm gonna go Houdini.
I'm gonna go Brady, Gronk, and Belichick. I'm gonna
go Run DMC.
Shit. For that matter, De La Soul.
Damn, TLC.
Yes.
Destiny's Child.
Locks.
The second version.
The second version after the fallout.
After they dropped the fourth member.
NSYNC
Who asked this question? Was it in a magazine that said who's a better trio?
No, it's a meme going around. It says, name a better trio. I'll wait. And I think we can name a bunch of them.
And with sisters, it was Kim, Khloe, and who? Kourtney?
Yeah.
Now,
Steph, KD,
if you drop Kourtney and you put Kylie in the mix, you kind of move up that ladder a little bit.
Yeah, but especially if you're talking money in that case.
If you put Kylie Jenner in that group, whether we like it or not, like she up there. Like Kourtney, I don't even know what Kourtney does. Like, does she work at Walmart? I don't know what she does.
I don't know what she does either, in all honesty.
Yeah, so she don't date nobody important. She's just on the shows. Fighting.
Correct.
And she getting smacked all the time by somebody. Correct. I don't know. Yeah.
Correct.
So she hurt their odds. She hurts them. You could put the mom in there. I probably got better results. Yeah. And I know nothing about this. I know nothing about the
I think the most iconic trio I can name other than those three is Keenan Kel and the Orange Soda.
Who?
That's funny.
Thank you.
I mean,
Keenan Kel and the Orange Soda.
I think I was already an adult when that was cool.
That's a silly episode.
Listen, I liked Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Classic movie.
Thank you. Okay, so we already talked a little bit about Mardi Gras. This year, it has now been coined Yardi Gras. People are decorating their houses since they cannot participate along Bourbon Street. So it is looking like a ghost town, but people are still using those colors, and they're decorating their houses. This is so great. I love Run That News. For all of you that are watching the video now, you'll notice that DJ Longgreen is not paying attention, and both the Moose and Juicy
I am paying attention.
I like it. This is hilarious.
I'm listening.
It was just really funny. I looked up and
Hold on. So
radio silence.
So are we not getting boobies on like there's no bead boots? I mean, boobies for beads?
Maybe.
Action?
You'd have to throw the beads, and then the boobs would have to be shown from the balcony, and then you'd have to put the beads in a quarantine box so that you could either Lysol them down or let them sit for 3 days before you put them on.
I mean, I mean, we can oil the boobs. I mean, oily boobs works.
No, that's not anything like what I was saying. No.
It's Titty Tuesday. Fat Tuesdays falls. It's the same day. I feel like the people are getting cheated.
I feel as though if they were oiled up, COVID would stick more to the oil.
You got it.
Your boobs are near your face.
You got to keep your boobs at home today, man. Like, you got to social.
I think you guys show up with a balcony with a bead quarantine.
You can put your boobs on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I support virtual boobs.
or you can tweet them at Heavy.
That's disgusting.
You can tweet them at Heavy.
Yes, underscore.
Hitters. Underscore. On Twitter, dog.
Feel free. Feel free. That you know what? Hey, that was a classic transition, Jeezy. I appreciate you. I for sure appreciate you. All right, what are the news we got there?
Do you guys remember Central Park Karen who called the police on the black birdwatcher man?
Cooper, yeah.
Yes, Amy Cooper. So her, all the charges against her have been dismissed. They're calling it restorative justice instead because she already lost her job and briefly lost custody of her dog. And so the prosecutors are saying that she's already paid a steep price. That's not enough of a deterrent to others. Bringing her more misery just seems like piling it on. It cannot.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? In a perfect world, I would love for the justice system to work that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe just in general, people are over penalized to the point that you smell your own shoes. But I guess, you know what I'm saying, people are over penalized and it doesn't leave a lot of room for restoration. But I mean, I would be just fine with what happened with Central Park Karen if black people had and were given the same opportunities for restoration by going to a couple therapy sessions, watching some impactful videos that would change their life. You know what I'm saying? And then that's the end of it. We don't have to go before a judge, you know what I mean? But to get off this loosely, you know what I'm saying, for fabricating this crime against somebody that looks like me, I got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to Moose's point politically. Well, we got to get more people that look like us in those positions of power to be able to start enacting some of those changes. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm cool with it if I could expect the same outcome for myself.
That's fair.
To y'all point, here's why here I'm gonna take it a step further than what D-Lo said, as far as what Moose said about people like us in position of power. That won't even change it because we saw the situation where the judge, in the case where I would get the lady that killed the dude in his house, it was a black judge in that case. Am I wrong? Was the judge black in that case?
But not every black judge is going to be that judge.
But what I'm saying is, look at. But you get what I'm saying. What is we have to get to a point where we look at Pilgrim women as sympathetic figures. Once we get to that point where we look at them as strictly on the surface of what it is and what it is, and was it a crime or not, or whatever it was, then that's when we'll reach true equality, which we'll never get, because Pilgrim women can always go up there, start crying, go on the waterworks, do their hair a certain way, and people give them sympathy, no matter what it is. Well, so until people are looked at the same, regardless of what their gender or race is, which that would never happen. And that was my point, that equity would never be achieved.
Yeah, it's funny, Jeezy, you said that because that's kind of my point. Like, I'm not saying that we need black men and women in all those positions, but we definitely need people with empathy. We definitely need people with empathy for all in all those positions.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And we are severely underrepresented in every courtroom atmosphere, from the lowest to the highest court, man. And you know what I'm saying? As far as myself and people I've known, it'd be like me saying every black attorney I've ever met or known is going to be a Clarence Thomas. But I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I believe the more of them that are in there, you're going to see diversity in people who do have reasonable thoughts and beliefs about the law and justice system in a system that can work for more people.
You know what? I'll say this. I think there's a way that we can achieve some level of equity in this country. And that's to change the overall perception of black people. Like change the narrative, change the perception of what it is when you see one of us, how it makes you feel. Once we change that, then I think that we can get some level of equity in this country. Equity.
You know,
but are we pandering to those people if we say, hey, this is the best of us, this is us, this is us, this is us, but there's a large group of us, we're happy with each other, you know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of us who can't have both. We can figure it out without the support and approval, you know what I'm saying, of this other people that already look down on us, because as much as we've accomplished and done in this country, it still ain't never been enough. You know what I'm saying? And it's only been a few of us, and they get to pick. You know what I'm saying? If we got to rewrite the narrative and retell our own stories, man, and you know what I'm saying? And this got to be for our purposes and not for the satisfaction of people who generally look down on us anyway. It's never going to matter.
See, and that's my point, D-Lo. That's my point. Either A, if we want equity, we have to change that. If we don't care, like we will never have both. So I'm with you. I'd rather just be like, you know what? I'm not for to shake a jive and dance for you to seek your approval. I'm not going to do that. So I don't really care or need your approval or your equity. I can make a good living. I can find my way and have a good life doing it my way. And I think a lot of people are doing that. Now, if I want to get equity, that means I got to put on the tap dancing shoes and dance for you and make you look at us differently. Like, hey, I'm a good guy.
But I don't necessarily look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because when I think about equity, I think about ownership in this country. You know what I'm saying? I think about things that I can pass on to my children, you know, that they can pass on or somehow have an asset. So when I look at equity, I'm thinking numbers and financially how I can get ownership into this country. And I think that there can be more equity in that regards. You know what I'm saying? The more financially literate we become.
Yeah, and for sure. By the way, guys, you guys are having great banter, and I always want to add to that is that I think both of you are on the right track. It's not about injecting us into a power position. It's injecting us into a position where we are taken seriously in every facet of society, right? And so if I'm buying a house, I want the same market rate as the other cat. If I'm buying a car, I want the same market rate as the same guy my same age that lives in in Avon. If I'm doing what have you, I want to be treated the same.
Let me ask you a question. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. But when it comes to, I think on that level, when it comes to buying a house or a car, I think that stuff is solely based on credit score, because everything is done online. Like, it's done online, so the interest rate is the rate. Like, the rate is the rate. You can't say, oh, it's 4.5. You like, no, if I got a good credit score, my rate gonna be a 2.2 or 2.2, whatever it is right now. That's what it's gonna be. I'm doing it online, so you don't know who I am. I'm just turning my stuff, and my rate gonna be a 2.2 or whatever it is.
Oh, okay,
so with the federal.
But it's also not going to only be your only cost in that car. You're going to have to pay for insurance and out the gate right there based on where you live and other factors. You know what I'm saying? Your rate is going to be different. So then you've got to consider that too, because it's going to be part of it. You might get the same payment interest rate if it's locked in at this, but there are going to be other factors that I believe is going to put us on unequal fields where I'm going to be penalized more.
Yeah, now, when it comes to that, when it comes to insurance, they look at the area in which you live in. If they look at the crime statistics in that area, if they're higher, then your insurance is going to be higher.
But if I'm being compared, if I live in central Indianapolis and I'm being compared to a small community out in Noblesville, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that should necessarily be a factor because I'm surrounded by so many more people. So I think the crime numbers are automatically going to be higher. You know what I'm saying? And I just think I think some things are kind of give the impression that things are worse than maybe what they are.
No, but the insurance quote is the same no matter who you are. The quote's the quote. I sold insurance. I know you shaking your head. I sold insurance, man. The quote is a quote. It's based off. If you get Medicaid or Medicaid supplement plan, it's based off your zip code. Saying how the zip code, but it's your zip code. Whatever your zip code is, they give you a list of numbers. Here it is. These are the numbers based off the zip code in which you live in.
Exactly.
These are the numbers. So you got to choose one of these numbers.
Exactly. And what they do is with redlining, your zip code becomes kind of a de facto part 2 of your credit score. So maybe I have a 750.
At some point,
maybe I have a 750 or 800, but then I have the wrong zip code and the 462 zip code. They like, you know what? Nah, dog. We gonna give you this rate, no matter what.
But that's for everybody that lives in that zip code. You can't go away from the number. The number is a number. Zip code is a zip code. So if you got a neighbor that's a Pilgrim's neighbor, he's paying the same insurance you paying. He's paying the same as you paying.
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
Don't insurance. The number's the number. You can't change the number. It goes off your zip code. No matter where you are, it's the number. If you live out in Avon, you paying lower insurance than someone who lives in the city, in Marion County. This is how it is. This is what it is.
All right.
Okay, can you explain to me then why houses with black family photos in them appraise much less than
I
white
sent that to y'all.
That's something not see. I never said appraise. See, you put words in my mouth. Appraisal is something different.
But you've also been moving the goalposts, Jeezy. So this seems fair.
No, I'm not moving the goalposts. We were talking about insurance and interest rate. Appraisal is something completely different. Now, when
we're talking about buying houses and cars.
But we started off with houses and cars.
Buying houses and cars,
Medicaid.
Two different things, Ron. Selling a house is two different things. That's different. So when you have an appraisal come in, yes, in some cases, yes. I had that discussion today with somebody about that issue, that situation. What you do is, you can get a second opinion on your appraisal. You don't have to go with the appraisal that's given. And if you find it's different, you can file that complaint with the board and get that person discertified. Like, there are steps you can do to go through if you feel like your house was wrongly appraised. Like, there's things you can do today that, maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you couldn't do today.
Okay, but that still takes time and resources.
Yeah, but if you're buying a house, if you got money to buy a house, then you should have time, and you should make time to make sure that you get everything you should get. And you should absolutely know that before you go into the situation of buying a house. What are you paying? What's your interest rate? How much does the realtor get? Like, you should know all that stuff before you even go into the situation.
All right, hey, I tell you what.
If you're buying a house is not like buying
and selling.
They don't go together though, D-Lo.
What don't go together?
Buying and selling a house, things.
But
that's what you said.
If you're buying a house, there's things that when you buying a house, there's things you should know when you're going into buying a house. How much does it cost me? What's my interest rate? What's the difference between a FHA loan versus a conventional loan? What's a flat rate versus the arm rate? You should know all this stuff before you even go into buying a house. You should be educated on that. If you're buying a house, and most people buying houses are educated.
What I said was that if you have to get your house reappraised and if you have to file complaints, that takes time and resources.
And if you
don't
own
put
a house,
the seller behind the eight ball.
All right, guys. Yeah,
So
guess what? Guess what, guys?
What I'm saying is, if your house appraised for more than you feel it should be appraised for, you can get another appraisal out there to appraise it. And if you feel there was some inconsistencies in that stuff, then you can file a complaint with the first person appraisal.
There's one thing I want to say about this story, and then I have one more I want to talk about for sure.
Hey, real quick, guess what? The reason we're talking about this so heavy is because I sent a post to these guys, to the team, to the squad about the fact that there was a black family that had a house, and they bought the house for like, I don't know, $1 million, and then they added.
No, they paid $200,000, and they put $200,000.
No, they added $400,000 worth of work into it, and the people gave it only $100,000 worth of equity when it really should have been, $1.1 million worth of equity in it because of the work and the new appliances and all the stuff. And what they did was they had the Pilgrim friend come in, or a white woman come in and act like she. By the way, Tunisia, I don't think so. Like if I'm the appraiser and I walk in and she goes, "Hi, I'm Tunisia," I'm like, "Yeah, right." Like something's fishy right here, right away. But anyway, and then they got the appraisal that they wanted, the one that made sense, and so that's what sparked this conversation.
They replaced all their family photos too. Right. Their white friend brought her family photos and hung them up.
Exactly. So it was a very interesting piece. If you guys want to see it, I'll try to repost it on some of our heavy hitter stuff. Run, I want you to talk about this, and then we're going to shut down, guys.
That's fair.
We owe 2 hours.
Okay, so there's one other thing I want to say about Central Park Karen. I want to circle back to that. I believe that restorative justice can totally work, but the whole justice system has to be redone in order for that to work. However, to D'Lo's point of videos and conversations, I know a great culture and diversity trainer if you need somebody. Okay, next story. There's just a little update that I want to give because I know we talked about this last week. So remember the car accident before the Super Bowl that Britt Reed was in, and the young girl was not doing well at that point. As of today, she has woken up from her coma. She is breathing on her own, obviously, because she is awake. She is the cutest little girl. Her name is Ariel, but she is now doing well. She has woken up from her coma. Of course, it's still a long ride ahead, but she's 5. And so hopefully this will also help Britt Reed feel a little bit better, because I cannot even imagine how that would feel. We still don't know for sure, but the cops are reporting that Reed admitted to drinking alcohol and taking Adderall before the car accident. So we still don't know for sure. We're not sure what's going to happen to him. But the little girl has woken up as of this afternoon.
Hey, Jeezy, real quick, I just want to, look at your confirmation. We talked about over the years that the NFL has their own kind of security, kind of secret service that handle all that. So we for sure know that they're all over this situation.
Well, correction, Moose. He's a coach. He's not a part of the NFLPA.
True. Hey, Jeezy, real quick. Real quick, the guys that helped Tom Brady walk off the boat, them 2 dudes, are they PA guys? You think that helping him, stay straight? Like there was 2 dudes.
Them just his people.
They're his people. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay, now that we're in football, let me just share 2 more quick things in case people missed it. Number 1. The daughter of the person that makes the Super Bowl trophy is mad and thinks that Tom Brady should apologize for throwing it around. And number 2, this one's not funny, but Vincent Jackson was found dead in his hotel room. We do not know. His family had reported him missing. They found him at the hotel. They were like, he's cool. And then the next day or maybe the day after that, the maid found him. So
Vincent Jackson, who's that?
That is what I'm sorry.
He was a wide receiver. He was a receiver for the Chargers and the Buccaneers, man. Like, I just hope that it went. I mean, drugs,
he was like 38,
involved, and you know, could it be CTE? Could he have a mental breakdown? Like, it's just.
It says there was
a very sad situation,
trauma, but of course we don't really know a whole lot yet.
Hey, but I want to go back to the other story you talked about. What was that? What was the other one?
So the daughter of the man who makes the Lombardi.
Oh yeah. No, I saw it. Yeah, you're right. So
she
guys,
wants Tom Brady to apologize for throwing it around during the celebration.
Hey, Karen, sit down somewhere.
Hey man, she was the ultimate Karen. She said silversmiths everywhere can't sleep because of the fact that he threw the Lombardi trophy.
You know that trophy has been a whole but sit down somewhere and shut up.
Man.
That's the problem with Twitter, Instagram, and all these different sites sometimes, man. Like nobody cares.
Do you guys remember when Gronk, the last time the Patriots won it, they were at a baseball game and he used it as a bat and dented it. He hit a baseball with the Super Bowl trophy and put a dent in it, and the dent is still in there. It's crazy, man. Yeah, she was for sure the ultimate Karen. Hey man, so definitely check out DJ Longgreen and DJ Marcus Wayne, man, on what on Wednesdays? Is that Wednesday?
Yeah, man. Wings and Patron Wednesdays at Echo 51-6 Pike Plaza Road.
Hey man, check them out for sure, man. You know what? Hey, if you have any children with intellectual disabilities, autism, or behavior problems, man, holla at me. I can help you for sure. And
if you need cultural diversity training, let me know.
Yeah, and by the way, man, if you're looking for security systems and all that, even though you can't get batteries when you need, holla at Jeezy. Hey guys, I appreciate y'all. This has been an amazing night. This is a good show, by the way. It's a good show for sure, man. I think this is a good one. Holy cow! And by the way, you guys saw me eating. Man, I ate some mashed cauliflower with sweet potato mash in there as well, kind of mixed up with some garlic and cheese, some catfish nuggets, and it was Brussels sprouts with bacon. Yeah, Moose is doing it right. Happy Fat Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
That's how we doing it, man. Hey, remember, we are where you are.
So get comfortable.
And come on in.
Your mouth.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, it's Heavy's radio show, man. We love y'all.
Hey, my only regret is we ain't have game show music for the random game show.
Man, sorry. There's a lot going on over here. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Chill out, guys, for a second. I'm going to stop the show. Yeah.